Hey, what's up, City Rock County? How you doing today? Out here finding stuff. So I just stepped in it. I got all the water muddy, so you won't be able to see anything. Plus the glare is like terrible. That's good to see you, buddy. Take a look at this thing. You want to see something cool? Look at this dude. The gastropod. You see his teeth down there? There's another one wearing a headdress. If you look down here, it becomes his eyes. Okay. Look at this little guy. Talk about a funny face. Look at this dude. He was sitting in the water looking at me just like this. That's funny, isn't he? Look how long his mouth is. There's an interesting one. See how it's two different colors? There's a line splitting it. Brown on bottom and white on top. This could have been one of those game pieces. I don't know what these little... They used to play games with some of these. I don't know what the games they used to play are. Um, oh, here's something you'll like. I showed this one earlier, but you weren't here for that. Check this thing out. So I want you to think about an eel or a snakehead. So there's his eye and his mouth. It curves around. So the snakehead this way with his open mouth. You turn it this way. Becomes like an eel or a fish or a snake. Like an electric eel. And then right there is going to be a face. Yeah, you like this one? Kind of could be a tadpole too, with the fat end of the tadpole, and that's his tail. You know how tadpoles have that fat head, and then they got that real long, skinny tail, kind of like a tadpole. Could be a lot of things: fish, snake, turtle, eel, bird. Yeah, I thought you'd like that one. I got some mammoths today. If you'd like to see some mammoths, you like mammoths? You want to see a couple mammoths with their head in the trunk? With some mammoth heads. You turn them this way too. There'll be a mammoth that way too. You see their head and their trunk and their tail. Ooh, almost dropped his ass. Oh, dude, you'll find them. They're all over up there. You'll find them. Check this one out. So that hole, I got to clean this out. See where that rock is? That's his trunk, but that hole's going to go through the other side, either right there or right there or right there. I'm not sure yet where. So that's going to be a mammoth when I get this one cleaned up. But you'll see his body. So his trunk's there. That might be his legs, and that'd be his back. And if you hold it this way, it could be just a big elephant head this way. It's gonna have some other stuff in it too, like some faces. Could be an elephant there, right there too, with his eye coming down with his trunk on the side. Okay, let me show you another one, another mammoth. Okay, this one's got like a flat base right here. That base is where you'd sit it like this. And there's your mammoth head right there. So if you hold it there, there's his eye, and there's his trunk, like a big old head. Could be one standing, like there's his trunk and there's his legs, his back. I don't know what this is. This looks like a duck head. Big long goose head right there. But I'm not sure about that side. Yeah, this one's wild. Okay, let me show you some other cool stuff I just found. Check this bird out. So this is going to be abstract, but there's his tip weight. This is the way it is. Right there's his eye and his beak, and this is be his tail. So you got to hold him up like this. Oh, focusing. Let me try him this way. So there's his eye and his beak, and that's his tail. Oh, the focus is sucking here. Yeah, I'm hoping you can see that. So there he is this way too. Yeah, it's like this. There's his tail, and there's his body, and there's his head. It's supposed to go like that, but the focus sucks. I don't know why. I got a bunch of good holes. Check this guy out. This one's got some wild stuff going on with him. So watch the face right there. So imagine his eyes missing. Like there's his nose, his mouth, his one eye's there, and his other eye's where the hole is. There's another face this way. There's another hole right there. I don't know if you can see that hole down there. That's a yelling man face right there. Eye, nose, open mouth, yelling at you. The other eye's in the headdress. It could be right there. Yeah, that's a cool one. Um, here's another. I don't know if I showed you this one. Another one with a hole. Makes a man's face looking to the right. And then you got a mammoth this way with his head, trunk, eye. You got face this way. It might be a mammoth right there too. or that way. Could be a yelling man with two eyes, nose, mouth, kind of like that, yelling at you. Yeah, I like that one. Here's a cool bird. So check the shape of him. That's going to be his tail. He's going to have a big old head on him. It looks like a crow. There's his eye right there. And there's his beak. When you turn him over, he's got another eye right there for a different bird. Yeah, we're not too far apart, man. There's going to be the same things. They would have been traveling the same areas. Here's another bird. Check this bird out. So there's his tail. Look at his little beak and neck, head. Ah, the focus sucks. I can never get the live stream to focus. It's just, look, it's just blurry. It won't focus on it though. It's like, it's frustrating. You might be able to see it focusing. To me, it looks like it's just it's fuzzy. It won't focus on it. Focus. Like right there, it's all fuzzy. It's not even nowhere near. You can't even see what's going on. Let me turn this way. There we go. Now we got it. There it is. Now you can see the eye. The shape of the beak. Tail. Looks like he's got some faces right there too. Crazy looking faces. Right under there. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I gotta check on my son. I gotta make sure I'm not gonna get stranded. I'm still kind of far from my truck. I picked up this little guy. He looked like he could be a nice little hand tool, but he's got some faces in him. I first picked him up, I didn't see much, but then I kind of looked. There's one at the bottom down here. Real good. One somewhere in the bottom. Right there he is. Look at that guy. There's gonna be other ones in this too. He's mean looking, isn't he? He's got a kind of like an evil kind of grin. Like he's like, I'm ready to kill you. We got a face up here with a headdress. A couple of them. All kinds of stuff. Look at that. There's a ghost face up in there. A couple ghosts up in there. Yeah, when you turn him over, it does the whole thing over again with different faces. Look. I turned it upside down. Now look. Look what we got down here now. Yeah, you like this one? Let's hold it this way now. Let's do it sideways and see what happens. Yeah, I could sit here for an hour, man. I don't want to sit here and take up all your time just showing you this one rock, but that thing has got some faces in it, some ghosts. Dude, this thing's got some skills. I love finding stuff like this, man, because no one's held that in 10,000 years. You know what I mean? Like that, I'm the first one to pick that up. You and I are the first one to look at it. It's cool stuff. Um, I just picked this guy up just a second ago. So he looks like he's a face wearing a mammoth trunk head. See the mammoth head? The trunk, the eye, the face down in there wearing him. Watch what happens here. When I turn him over, there's a mammoth, or here's a head right here. So look for his eye right here, his nose right here, his mouth right there, his chin's right there, his other eye's right there. And he's holding his hand up into his mouth like he's feeding himself something. So there's his face, there's his arms down here, and it looks like he's feeding himself an egg maybe. So there's his face, there's his hand. Hold on, let me get it right. There's his hand and his fingers putting something up into his mouth. Yeah, they turn it back over, and there's the mammoth head man wearing his headdress. I hope you can see that, buddy. I know these are sometimes hard to see what's going on, and it took me years to figure all this stuff out. So sometimes I act like everybody can see what I see, and sometimes I got to remember that not everybody sees the same things I see, and not everybody's on the same level of like understanding what's going on with them. So sometimes I get over ahead of myself a little bit. I start describing things, and people are like, "What are you talking about?" So I want to see if this hole goes through there. No, I don't think it does. Yeah, it's hard because everybody has their own ideas about these rocks. Like too, like well, you asked me that one day about the mud fossils and all that, and it's like I don't want to say that that's wrong. That might not be right in my area. It might be right where he is, and he might be finding things that look like mud fossils, and that could have happened. There could have been a flood. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying it doesn't happen where I am. It's just my experience is I don't see that stuff here. Now he might find that stuff there, and that's fine. And I don't want to discount him, but at the same time I don't believe that. I mean, at least not here, not where I'm seeing it. Now where he lives, that could have been a possibility, and I don't want to say it's not true, but like to me, I just don't see evidence of that. I mean, there's some people that say these things are from aliens. There's some people that tell you these things are from Atlantis. You'll hear stories about giants. You're going to hear stories about Sasquatches and UFOs. And there's just everybody's got an idea about where they come from and how old they are and who made them and all this. But in the end, it's just like you just got to go with your own gut and what you feel is right and what makes sense to you. It's a cool little flint pendant, so or a net sinker, but you see the hole, it's like a perfect rectangle, but it's really cool colors. It's got a brown and a black contrasting color. I thought this was kind of cool. You don't really find flint with holes in it too much like this. So I think that could have been a pendant, small enough. Check this flint knife I got. Check this blade out. So watch this blade on this side. Right there's the blade. I don't know if you can see this, but that thing is a huge flint. You see how it's a blade right there and a blade right there? It's a three-sided blade. But you see that edge right there? Yeah, it's really big. So here's how you would have held it. It has a spot for your hand. See this spot right there? Okay, see how it's in my hand? That's where your thumb would have went. And so there would have been your blade. You would have held it like this, so you would have had this as your blade. So they could have scraped, they would have held it like this in the hand. See how it fits on your palm? Your palm fits it just like this. Your fingers go here. Your thumb goes right there. You can see where it's been worn. That's where your thumb sits. So it fits your hand like a knife. And then there's your edge. There's your blade. So you can scrape with it. You can scrape off fish scales, scrape hides. See how it sits higher than my thumb? If your thumb sits off of it, but you can still use it for leverage. Scrape down on that. So that blade would have probably chopped up fish, game, helped clean hides. They had to scrape the hides off of fat to tan them, to make clothes and shoes and whatever. That's a nice knife blade though. I mean, as far as hand knives go, I've made a flint like this that are sharp like this. You don't find these very often, especially with the blade still intact. Like that blade is not even chipped. It might have one little chip on the end right there. It's a little ding on the end, but the rest of it's pretty good. And this thing might have some faces in it too. I didn't even look. I'm pretty sure it will. I'll have to check it later. Yeah, I like that piece though. I got a couple little face rocks. Little tiny guys. Yeah, these are cool. These are the type of things I think like a 14, 15-year-old kid would have made these. And you think about it when you've got a little boy now and you know how much energy they got. And like now you can tell your kid to go in your room, play your video games. You can go outside. You can go do all kinds of stuff, activities to get the energy out of them. And if they drive you nuts, you can give them something to do. When these Indians didn't have that shit, like what did they have to tell the kids to go do? Go play with your sticks and rocks. I mean, that's all they got. So they would have came down here and probably told the kids to go over there and make some faces. So they would have gave them something to do, gave them some rocks. The kids would have been looking around for rocks that could have had faces in them, and they would have kept adding faces to those. And I think they would have just done it to just keep the kids busy too. Just give them something to do, like go over there and make some faces. Like get out of my hair, just get away from me for a little bit. Go down to the beach and go play with the rocks. I mean, that's just my own theory because I think all of them can't be made by like a 37-year-old man. Like there had to be girls making them, little kids making them, all kinds of things. You know, you just don't know who all made these. I really think that they could have made them like from the time they started walking until the time they died. Yeah, go outside, play. Right. You don't have any toys? Go find some sticks. Go run around the yard. But same principle here, like it gives them some way to get rid of their energy and their creative outlet. You got to give kids something to do, and this would have kept them busy. Like go sit over there and go make a rock better than your neighbor kid made. You know what I mean? Or go make a rock to give to that girl that lives in the next village. Like go impress her with your skills. Like, and you think about these things too as like currency. Like we don't realize what they used to make was important to them were rocks, like tools and weapons and things. They would have traded these probably. And if you make a good one, you could have traded this for, who knows, some food or something else cool or another one of these that is different. Um, but for sure, they would have been making these all the time, I think. Anytime they had downtime, they would have sat around, been bored as hell. They would have probably just picked up some rocks, started making faces in them. Or they would have had some they would have been working on for months and months and months. They might have taken years to make some of these, when they're sitting at home and they got nothing doing around a campfire and it's, you know, a full moon and they're sitting there bored, they would have pulled their rocks out and started chiseling away. That's just my own theory. I mean, I'm not an expert and that's not a fact, but it just makes sense to me that some of these are made by kids, some of these are made by teenagers, and some of them are made by adults. And sometimes you can tell the difference just by how goofy and how silly they are. Polish them up the rock and shape them. Yeah, some people get into that lapidary stuff. So I think there's a hole right there. I got to poke that out. I think that hole might go through to there to make that a pendant. That's why I picked this one up, because that one looks like it could have been drilled. You know how round it is, but some of these are natural. Some of them are fossils, that fell out. But they sometimes will pop that. I got to get a toothpick and see if that pokes through. It might just be filled with sediment. Um, let's see. Did I show you this bird yet? Look at this bird. So look at the head right there. There's his tail. You see his eye in there too. Oh, it jumped right out of my hand. So here he is from this side. So tail, beak, body. So mammoth, when you hold it this way, watch. So now that becomes a mammoth trunk, and his head's way up on his eye. Like he's got a hump on his head. I don't know about that though. That mammoth might not be there, but it could be there too. It's hard to say with these. Like sometimes they're birds, but they look like mammoths when you hold them upside down. But I don't know. Definitely looks like a bird this way. It's a cool colored flint too. It's nice and shiny. Uh, Now this one's a mystery. I don't know what's going on with this one. I picked it up. I looked at it briefly. It looks like there's a face down in the tip. And to be honest with you, I don't know what's going on with this one yet. So I picked it up. I looked around. It looks like there's some faces in it. One right there. And one right there. Wearing a hat or headdress. That's his headdress. There's his face. See how you got to get the angle just right? It's not straight on. It's kind of at a side angle. So he's wearing his hat there, but then his face, his teeth, his mouth, his jaw. You twist him the wrong way, you don't see him at all. See? It's gone. And there he is. There he is. Now he's gone. Gone. You gotta get it just right or you don't see him. Looks like there's a small one right there too. Oh, we got a face right here, ghost face. So his mouth, his nose is long and two black eyes. See him? I call them ghost faces because they're not on the edge. They're just flat. 3D. Oh, you're okay, buddy. I'm about to shut this down. I appreciate you stopping by. I don't want to take up all your time, buddy. Um, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and end the live stream here. I thank you for coming, man. And I'll see you on the next one. You go take care of your chickens. And I'll see you on the next one, buddy. You have a good day. You have a great night. I'll see you later. Peace.